Hello and welcome back to Beckler Guitars and Repair, and today we're going to be doing a mods and upgrade video on my Gibson SG Special. So, for those of you that don't know, I just did a review on this not too long ago. I got this guitar for a crazy good deal because of the crack in the back of the neck, which I have repaired. And now I want to mod a little bit to my taste because I'm going to keep this guitar. It plays great, sounds great. I really like the pickups on here. I just want to change some things just aesthetically and maybe playability wise, just to make it awesome. All the mods that I'm going to be doing are reversible, and I'm going to keep the original parts so I can always sell it as original if I ever need to. But I really want this guitar to be a little bit more personalized for me. That's what I like to do with my personal guitars, is kind of mod and change them as I like to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing I did was, this guitar already played great. I was using 9-gauge strings, some Ernie Ball Super Slinkies, and it played great. The video shows that there's, the previous video showed that there's no buzz, and the action was quite nice and low, and played great. So I wanted it to play better than great, and I was interested in getting some 8s on a guitar. Typically I use 9s, but I wanted something that played like so effortlessly and with such level frets that I could put 8s on there and barely have to touch the strings. So what I did is I did a full fret level recrown and polish. Again, it didn't require much. It was basically perfectly level already, just a couple of spots where it was a slight bit of buzz. So I just did, I filed everything nice and level, checked it with a fret rocker, and then I put a nice new crown on there with a crowning file, and then polished everything up and then threw it in the fret buffer. So yeah, you can have a look at the fretwork there. Everything's super shiny, super polished, and we should be able to bend effortlessly on this thing. And then the other thing is I really like this finish. This is called the Cool Blue Mist finish, or Blue Mist finish, I think. The only other guitar I've seen that has this finish, because it's kind of a rare limited edition, it's the Jeff Tweedy. So there's a picture of it here on the screen I'm going to show. And I wanted this guitar to look kind of like that one, because that guitar looks gorgeous. So I went ahead and bought some things that I'm going to do to mod it, to make it look a little bit more like that. So the first thing is the cream pickguard. So we're going to swap pickguards here, the black for the cream. Here's kind of an idea of what it's going to look like. So yeah, that really makes that blue pop, I think, that cream. So I think that's going to be better for me. And then I've got a new poker chip here to match it. The poker chip's a slightly different color than the pickguard, which maybe I'll leave it black, maybe I'll use it, I don't know. I'll see what it looks like when I start messing with stuff. And then the other thing is, I was considering putting, these are Alnico 2 magnets. These is the 490R, 490T pickup set. And it's fairly easy to swap out magnets and humbuckers. So you can swap out the Alnico 2 pickup for an Alnico 5 pickup, and that's going to make it a little bit brighter, a little bit more articulate. But since I plugged it in and you know, I've got enough Alnico 5 pickups, I think I'm just going to leave this as an Alnico 2. And but what I am going to do is install these pickup covers. So just to give it that more Jeff Tweedy kind of look, so I'm going to get pickup covers on there and see how that sounds. So the fret level is done. I already did throw 8s on there, so these are the Ernie Ball 8s, and it plays great, like just effortless bends and super easy to play. So now I'm just going to do a little bit more aesthetic stuff. So let's go ahead and get this pickguard off and we'll swap. Actually, speak of the devil, as I was recording that, I got a notification that something was delivered, and actually it's the Alnico 5 magnets that I was speaking about. So this is what they look like. Basically, you just pull out the magnet that's in there already and swap it with something else, and it changes the sound. So, but I'm pretty happy with this again. I just double checked it, and I don't really want to mess with it. But I do have these in the future if we ever want to do some comparison videos or something like that. Alright, the first thing I want to do is make sure that our pick guard is going to fit. So, make sure all the screws line up properly. So I'm going to go ahead and get the pickups where they need to go. And then fit the guard on there. And just make sure all of our holes line up where they should. Because drilling new holes sucks. So it looks like all the holes line up perfectly. The only problem is these holes are too small. So on SGs, the pick guard is there's holes for the bridge on the pick guard, and these ones do not sit flush. They go over top because they're too big. So that's an easy enough fix. What I can do is I'm going to use my digital calipers. I'm going to measure these posts, and then I'll have to find a drill bit with the same circumference and drill those out so it sits nice and flush. But it's a pretty easy alteration. I got this guard for cheap. It's not an official Gibson guard or anything, but it's 3-ply. It's good quality. It's nice and stiff, and it just needs a small alteration. The next thing I want to make sure of is our pickup covers fit properly. So again, I bought these cheap on Amazon. They're supposed to be nickel alloys. They got good reviews anyway. I just want to see if they're going to fit right or not. And so the slugs should line up right with the pickup cover. And yeah, it looks like they're perfect. So you can see there all the screws are coming right out, and there's no gaps or weird anything. They fit nice and snug. So then all I have to do now is solder these on, so just a couple solder points to keep them on there, and yeah, very easy to do. And I kind of like the look of covered pickups a little bit better than uncovered, just a personal preference. And yeah, so that's easy to do. Let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, the second one took a little bit of work to get it to fit properly. I had to use some clamps to squeeze it in there properly, but now they're both looking good. I marked up this one a tiny bit, but it's pretty imperceptible. And the slugs are all fitting nicely now too. So I'm going to go ahead and solder them up. Alright, so I'm just going to solder the covers on. Again, just 2 little blobs on the top and the bottom, just to keep it into place. Yeah, just an idea what they look like. Just 2 blobs right there, keeping the case soldered to the pickup. And again, right there. And if you ever want to remove pickup covers, that's the same idea. So you just unsolder those 2 points, lift it out, clean it up, and then you've got uncovered pickups. So now I'm going to measure these posts just to see what kind of a drill bit I need to use to match that size. So using my digital calipers, I can see it's a 0.476. Now I can lock it and go over and measure my bits until I find one that's the right size, and then I'll just drill out my pick guard. Alright, that was quick and easy, and now I can see that the posts match my holes here and all the other holes line up. So just a quick alteration, and now it's perfect. So now I'm just going to mount my pickups back to the pick guard. Alright, everything's mounted now, so now I'm just going to go ahead and feed the wires through the cavity so they don't get bunched up under the pickguard, and screw the pickguard down.
So baby, come over tonight. Yeah, baby, come over. Make love. Yeah, baby, come over tonight. So baby, come over.
Alright, so here it is, all finished in the case. And yeah, I think it looks a lot more like the Jeff Tweedy model. That's kind of the look I was going after. And here's a closer look at the work. Again, we didn't have to drill any new holes or anything else like that. And the pickups covers matched really nicely. Easy fit. This one was a little bit harder to get on. I had to put a little bit of pressure with some clamps. And in doing so, I put a little dot right there. But it's pretty hard to see, and the rest of the guitar isn't perfect anyway. This is the guitar I had to fix the crack on the headstock, so the little stuff is not really going to bother me on this one. And yeah, just the pickguard and pick covers really transformed the way this thing looks. To go even further, you can get cream top hat reflector knobs as well, so I might go ahead and order some and just complete the look. And yeah, it plays great now. With the fret level, I've got 8s on there, and it's crazy low and plays super well. You can bend it like nothing. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I do have all the original parts if I ever want to, you know, convert it back to factory specs and sell it. And yeah, just a nice, quick, easy, reversible mods and upgrade for this guitar. I spent about $13 on this pickguard Canadian and about $13 for the pickup covers. I'll provide those links in the description. Sometimes with the cheaper stuff, you have to do a little bit of alterations to make it work. So with this one, I had to drill new holes for the bridge posts, and this pickup didn't quite fit perfectly. I had to do a little finagling to get it in where I wanted it. But overall, cost versus time on it was not much, and I really like the way it looks. And yeah, so that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in to Beckler Guitars and Repair. And yeah, it's pretty easy to mod your own gear with a little bit of know-how, and you can really personalize your stuff and get it how you want it. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.